roundup is brought to you by Pfizer. Inspiration comes standard. Here's a very talented comedian and singing impressionist. You've seen him on the Dana Carvey Show. And here he is, James Stevens III.
Y'all stood up for me and stuff. I feel like it's like the Cosby Show. I should start it like the Cosby Show. Wait, go. And I was sitting in the dentist's chair. My wife was sick, and the kids who I gave the chocolate cake. This is great, man. There's a lot of church people in here, too, I heard. A lot of church people in here? I heard. It's great. No, I'm going to tell you, because the reason why I say that, because, you know, I lived here for 20 years. I moved back to North Carolina. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina. Now, I got to go back down there to the old school stuff that I'm not used to. I'm Catholic. I never... Black people, I went to church, black people are flying in the air and stuff. And they speaking in tongues that I don't even know. I was in the church and preaching flew from the ceiling. Ah! Oh, Lord! Oh, Lord! Oh, Lord! A long time ago, I'm getting scared because I'm Catholic. Do you know, son? Do you know who Jeremiah was? I said, yeah, Jeremiah was a bullfrog. He started praying, so it sounded like James about and preachers down there, they don't know, they can't even read. They just preach about what they saw on TV. There was a woman who had 12 inches of blood, and she took the blood and sprinkled it all over O.J. Simpson's house. So they took O.J., they locked him up, and they threw away the key. But he prayed all night and day. And all of a sudden, the jail cell began to rock and reel. And he looked between the bars and he saw a vision of a man. He said, my king, my king. Rodney King, what you doing up here? Y'all know how it is. Y'all trying to act like y'all don't know down south. That's where y'all relatives from. People out California try to act like they ain't got no relatives down south. But the boat hit Charleston, South Carolina. Don't be trying to say you don't know where you're from. I'm telling you, 45, listen, it was only like 40 years ago we just learned how to read. And you know how we go off and get educated and stuff? Now I'm back there with my mom and them, and they like, you know, they reading out those hymns, but they can't read, they just make the words up to the song. And you know when you go back up, you sitting by them, you like, oh, na na oh, la. You know, you don't do that, they're gonna get mad at you, right? Because my grandma, I'll tell you, my grandmother is still there. She's 86 years old. She's the mother of the church. And my grandmother, she get up on Sunday morning with her choir. You know where they march. I love it being back down there because they come out like this. Go ahead, give me that. Lord, if I don't get there, oh, yes, before you do. Somebody left the stove on, and the food's gonna burn up. Mama's in the kitchen, Lord, and I got the greens on the other eye. Better go home, Lord, before something burn up. Everybody sing with me, come on, hey, somebody left the stove on. Somebody left the stove on. Oh, Lord. Y'all good. Y'all crazy. Y'all go crazy. I'm gonna have to make a hit out of that. Y'all know y'all gonna be singing. Y'all be, somebody left the stove on, Lord. I said stop. Now let me tell you about my daddy, because my daddy was alcoholic. My daddy was alcoholic. What my daddy do, he back there now. What my daddy would do, my daddy, he get drunk like the night before, right? Now that's his mama, that's grandmama that's marching up. My grandmother, his mama, marching across the floor. My daddy be drunk right there. He grabbed the mic out of her hand. And he's drunk. He's doing his own testimony. Now, he been out all night. My daddy come out like this right here. Jesus drove me home last night. I was swerving from the left to the right. The deer crossing the road had a fright, 'cause he was caught between my high beam lights. The police on the road phoned ahead, 'cause he thought the little deer was dead. And Lord, I ain't gonna drink no more. Everybody sing. I said, Lord, I ain't gonna drink no more. Hallelujah. Look at this alcoholic right there. Look at this guy, he's alcoholic. He's like, I ain't gonna drink. After this one, I ain't gonna drink no more. Now, my favorite music in the world, I know how to do this, and my favorite, like, we lost so many singers and stuff over the last year. We lost, oh my gosh, Luther Vandross and all these. Now, I'm thinking to myself, guys, I'm gonna do this. You know, 50 years from now, all our great icons will be gone. And they're gonna still be probably singing in heaven. So we're gonna take y'all home on this. Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, and Prince singing "Oh Happy Day in Heaven." Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day, yeah. When Jesus, he brought my sin away, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the late Mr. Ray Charles. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Hey, hey, hey. When Jesus was, yes, indeed, baby. Yes, when Jesus was, yes, indeed, baby. Talk about when Jesus was, yeah. Hey, he washed my sins away. Michael Jackson. Ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, Prince. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. When talking about when Jesus. When Jesus. Yeah, you wash my sins away. Yeah, thank you very much, baby. God bless you.